The Kenya Institute of Bankers continues to play an important role in the banking sector in Kenya as the institution mandated to accredit banking professionals at all levels. Recently, the organization welcomed a new CEO who has settled in quite well and is set to take the organization to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Julias Alego, the new Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya Institute of Bankers.
It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here. I'm really delighted, and I'm delighted because of the warm welcome I've received from staff, and I need to mention here also as well from the Governing Council of KIB. I've had great engagement as well with our patron, who is also the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya. And I also want to extend a warm thank you to all our supporters, and mainly so our corporate subscribers, corporate members who are the banks, who have really been supportive to us, and even as I start this journey towards getting a new and refurbished KIB.
Even as he offers a warm hand of gratitude to staff, stakeholders and the Governing Council at large, Mr. Alego is well aware of the magnitude of the task at hand and is aptly prepared to confront them.
This challenge is immense, and it also calls me to utilize all the experiences I've gathered over the years, and it is indeed an opportunity with great potential. So transforming KIB and ensuring that indeed it's a center of excellence in the provision of certification and training for financial sector, I think is something that is worthwhile for me and also for all the other people who are involved in this sector. I'm looking forward to even engaging more and more with our stakeholders in various areas and building indeed very, very effective partnerships to ensure that indeed we deliver to the expectations of both our individual and corporate members.
Mr. Alego is an astute trainer with vast experience acquired over the years in the banking sector. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics and Geography from the University of Nairobi. He also holds a postgraduate diploma in Management from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. He equally holds an advanced certificate in marketing from the Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK, and is a member of the Institute of Human Resource Management, Kenya. He is also the country coordinator of the International Facilitators, Kenya chapter. Prior to joining the Kenya Institute of Bankers, Mr. Alego worked for 4 years at Financial Sector Deepening Africa as Director, Professional Education. For more than a decade, before his tenure at Financial Sector Deepening Africa, he had managerial stints with the Standard Chartered Bank, the Equity Bank and Stedman Trains Limited. It is this vital experience that he hopes will help him steer the Kenya Institute of Bankers towards a prosperous and sustainable growth path. The Governing Council has mandated him to undertake both medium-term and long-term objectives, for which he is quite obliged to share with us.
Since coming on board, the Governing Council have been absolutely very clear with what they expect of myself, and a number of areas that were enumerated that I need to really pay close attention to. I would look at it from 3 perspectives. So one is to ensure that we are really digitizing most of our operation. The pandemic has taught us that indeed we need to get as fast as possible into virtual learning space. This is going to be the new normal. So we need to be at that, delivering a number of our interventions, our learning interventions, using digital. The other key area as well is to ensure that we have a very, very strong value proposition, and we're developing this through a charter. So a charter with both our individual and corporate members is a very, very important element. And the third area is building very firm partnerships that will ensure that our certification has very, very strong roots with different other institutions of higher learning as well.
The last 100 days since he took over office have been an exciting but challenging roller coaster. Mr. Alego has embraced his immediate undertakings with firmness and a consolidated resolve to ensure he sets the right foundation for the laid-out aspirations of the institution.
So the journey has begun. The last 100 days, there's quite a lot that has been done. And we started first by looking at our internal processes. And part of this involves us looking at our own internal structure, which we want to ensure that it's fit for purpose, even as we have very, very high expectations towards building KIB into a center of excellence. We, in the last 100 days as well, have been having engagement discussions with a number of our stakeholders, and this has culminated in a number of partnerships that we are building up with them, more so on the area of capacity development. So we are reviewing our academic board as well, and the purpose there is for us to ensure that we have a governance to effectively manage and run and advise the institute as far as our syllabus is concerned, and the curriculum that definitely we are looking forward to engage our diploma and advanced diploma holders. This as well will involve a number of changes which we believe will ensure that our diploma and advanced diploma courses are up to scratch and address the current issues in banking.
Even though Mr. Alego is optimistic about the fortunes of the organization, he's also acutely aware of the emerging challenges that have been necessitated by rapid and aggressive technological challenges, as well as the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
I think the biggest challenge that we are facing currently is brought about by technology. Technology has impacted us in a number of ways, not just in the delivery of our programs currently, but also if you're to look at it from the broad perspective in the financial sector, technology has really impacted the delivery of financial products to the clients. And for that reason, we as the main certifiers and trainers really have to be at the front in terms of ensuring that all bankers are equipped with addressing some of these needs, some of the emergent needs arising from technological shifts. We are addressing ourselves to these issues as well. So in terms of delivery of our programs, there's more and more reliance towards online delivery and more towards a blended level of delivery where we are mixing both online and face-to-face delivery of programs. But more importantly, even in the way we engage with our various stakeholders, is taking the form of different social media platforms. And I think this is important to us to make sure that we are up to speed with all these medias and ensuring that we are also engaging fully with all our stakeholders in all these areas. The other challenge that has affected us, no doubt about it, is the pandemic. COVID-19 has come in to affect the economy, and that has had major, big effects on the banking sector, where we draw most of our clientele from. And in view of this, then a number of our normal engagement with our clients has been affected. And some of the shifts that I mentioned earlier, we are bound to affect us as well. So we're moving away from the traditional face-to-face engagement in class into an online delivery platform. And the online delivery platform must also be very, very interactive. So it's not something that is static. And for that reason, it has called for a lot of deeper investment on our side towards ensuring that we have even much better tools to deliver programs. So one way we are addressing ourselves to this is to engage with our various stakeholders, and mainly so the banks, to ensure that the delivery is in such a way that it's blended at the end of the day. So not just looking at virtual only or in class only, in person only, but a mixture of these two.
Regardless of all these challenges enumerated by the CEO, the Kenya Institute of Bankers remains an important organization in the certification of the banking fraternity in Kenya. Its mandate is critical to ensuring the bar for professional banking remains high and sustainable.
Well, KIB, first of all, is a professional body. So just like other professional bodies, for accountants, we have ISBAC. So essentially you can't practice as an accountant without that certification. Likewise, ordinarily, you should not be practicing as a banker without being a member of KIB or getting a certification. So that becomes an important element. And certification is very important for us in the banking sector, specifically because if you are to look at the global events that have taken place within the financial sector, there's a lot of drive right now towards ensuring that as a banker, you are actually certified to indeed claim that role of you as a banker. So we are at KIB playing that role to ensure that you are indeed certified as a banker in Kenya. And that's a very, very important role that KIB plays.
At the onset of our interview, Mr. Alego had briefly mentioned what the mid-term and long-term aspirations of the institution are. He seeks to enlighten us further to understand what the stakes are for the 42-year-old organization.
In the midterm, my key agenda is to ensure that we have a very strong value proposition to both our corporate and individual members. And this is an important element because that then will build up on the relevance of KIB to both our individual and corporate members. And I think that's an important element. And towards this extent, what we're doing is revamping and reviewing our curriculum. And as well, we are ensuring that we have a very, very robust academic board, which will have the oversight of looking at, of ensuring that whatever current syllabus that we have is indeed addressing the current needs of bankers. The other area in my midterm aspiration is to ensure that I engage quite fully with all our stakeholders. Our stakeholders have seen us survive for the last 42 years, and it is important that we continue with this discussion that we have with them and understand how we can as well work together for the benefit of our members, both corporate and individual members. So stakeholder engagement in a much more detailed and a much more specific pattern will be absolutely important in ensuring that we are up to speed with what we hope to achieve at KIB. The other area as well is on visibility, making sure that we create KIB into the minds of all our stakeholders. On the other hand, visibility also ensures that we are able to reach out to all our other stakeholders, most of the students with the courses that they're doing here with us, but also to project favorably the banking profession, because indeed, as a profession, banking is at the core of the economy. And if it's well managed through proper training and certification, then the whole economy benefits.
The Kenya Institute of Bankers has most recently began reaching out to various institutions for partnerships, and this, as Mr. Alego says, is central to the institution's long-term goals. One such organization is the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Authority, which is famously known in Kenya as the TVET Authority. The Kenya Institute of Bankers hopes that in the long run, it will be turned into a center of excellence with the help of the TVET Authority.
In the long term, I see KIB that is indeed the center of excellence for the banking sector, and more so, playing a very, very big role in the entire economy of this country. KIB that indeed is a professional outfit that ensures that the banking sector and the bankers who are working within this sector are absolutely professional with high standards of ethics and integrity as well. So as part of building ourselves up to a center of excellence in banking certification and standards, we will also be working very, very closely with the regulators, government regulators in this space. Top amongst those is TVET Authority. We'll also be working very closely and getting certification with the Kenya National Qualifications Authority. And all this is towards helping and ensuring that our qualifications are up to speed, and our own qualifications framework, given that we're a professional body, is also up to the standards that are required not just locally but also internationally.
Apart from forging partnerships with other institutions and accreditation bodies with international reputation, the Kenya Institute of Bankers is one of the few training institutions that enjoy the privilege of having the Central Bank of Kenya Governor, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, as its patron. The governor has been the institute's patron since he began his tenure and has constantly provided technical support, resources and advisory in an effort to mobilize industry stakeholders around the crucial agenda of professionalizing the financial sector through the Kenya Institute of Bankers.
The fact that the current governor of the central bank is also our patron, that has come in to help us out a lot. From an advisory perspective, the governor of the central bank has been at the forefront to ensure that what we're delivering is indeed trying to build the banking sector to a level where we have very professional and high standards.
As we conclude the interview, Mr. Alego spares some inspiring sentiments for the aspiring banker, the financial services fraternity at large, and the general public, who may be looking forward to improved service from the institution.
My parting shot. First, to those who are aspiring to get into banking as a career. It is indeed a rewarding career. I would encourage you to get registered. We're actually starting our classes soon for the diploma and advanced diploma. So wherever you are, please engage with us. We'll provide the details as to how we can start your classes. So for our professional bankers who are currently in different financial institutions, learning is a continuous journey. And to that extent, we promise that we'll be engaging you towards different learning opportunities, culminating towards continuous professional development, of which you can earn points, and to ensure that you're indeed up to date and current with your undertakings. For the corporate members, there's a lot that is at stake. We're going to ensure that we develop consultancy and learning interventions that indeed address your needs. But more so, we're also at the forefront to ensure that we have staff engagement activities. This is at the interbank games, quizzes, and essay writing as well. And this will ensure that there's a lot of engagement and development as well for your staff at different levels. And then also to the general public, a well-trained, certified, and professional banker plays a very, very important role in the entire economy. We promise you that through KIB, we'll be able to develop our staff so that they're able to deliver effective and high standard service that meets and exceeds your expectations.
For more information on how you can enroll for a professional course in banking at the Kenya Institute of Bankers, kindly visit our website www.kib.co.ke. You can also contact us on 0700631433 or 0754111386. We would also be delighted to hear from you on how best we can improve on our services to you. Please write to us an email addressed to info@kib.co.ke or thebanker@kib.co.ke.